Welcome back. You're watching Morning Live. Thank you very much for choosing to stay with us. Now, SABC's news reporter Aldrin Sampear is at the South Park Cemetery in Boksburg for the commemoration of SACP leader Chris Hani. Let's say good morning. Aldrin, good morning.
Well, good morning, Sam. Yes, it's been 23 years now since the death of Chris Hani, since he was shot down and killed at his home. And as you indicated, we are here at the South Park Cemetery where the commemoration will be getting underway. The event is supposed to start at about 10 a.m. That's the official event, and there will be the wreath laying. We'll have representatives from the Chris Hani family. Madimpo, Chris Hani's widow, will also be speaking on behalf of the family. And then the keynote address will be from the ANC's Secretary General, Gwede Mantashe. But we also expect the SACP leader, Bladen Zimande, to also give a message of support, as well as the other alliance members. But right now I'm joined by the SACP's Soli Mapaila. Thank you so much this morning for joining us. It has become an annual event that on this day we commemorate the death of Chris Hani. What does this mean for the SACP?
Well, this is very important for the SACP and the people of South Africa, because after his assassination, Comrade Chris, the movement led by the ANC through President Nelson Mandela at the time demanded from the apartheid government that the only way we can move forward henceforth was to set the date for democratic elections, which is the reason why April 27 was set up. So April 27 practically it's written in his blood. Of course, the blood of all our martyrs who died in the struggle for freedom and democracy in our country. Therefore, this is very significant that we should always come here, remind ourselves the conditions of that time and where we want to go, how far we have traversed the path. And I think that Chris Hani, wherever he is, he should be proud of his movement for the achievements that it has made, particularly to issues that were close to his heart. For instance, he put close to his heart issues of health, housing, education, and fighting hunger, and all those areas. For instance, government has done exceedingly well. Of course, there are still challenges in that regard, but I think that wherever he is, he will be proud of us for having made this kind of achievement. Of course, even about his own Communist Party, the level of growth, the campaigns that it is taking up. So those are important issues that I think that coming up here reminds ourselves, revives ourselves also about our own revolutionary morality and how we conduct ourselves as revolutionaries and how we prosecute the struggle going forward.
And there have been some events leading up to this main commemoration event. There were different lectures throughout the week. And yesterday in particular, ANC NEC member Naledi Pandor speaking as well, commemorating the assassination of Chris Hani. And she mentioned something quite intriguing, saying that Chris Hani would be horrified at the level of corruption that has plagued the movement, as well as ill discipline.
As much as we are horrified as the SACP, you remember that we are the first political organization, to launch a full-scale campaign against corruption in 2010, the Red Card to Corruption campaign, and we have since never stopped from engaging in this fight against corruption and greed. I think that you will really firstly be proud about the SACP, but on the fight against corruption as a program. But I think generally it will not be proud about the level of degeneration in some areas within the leadership structures across the movement and so forth. Those are areas that we are working hard collectively as a movement to get rid of. In fact, you will see that many of the corruption issues are raised from inside the movement and also from government through instruments that were set up by our own democratic government. So it's an issue of what we call victims of our own successes. When you develop a country, you have access to power, cadres change the way they conduct themselves. And I think that we have to come with policies to respond to that all the time. This is a challenge. I think we really agree with Comrade Naledi. We can do better as a liberation movement to be quite forthright. I affirm our firm principles as a revolutionary movement that guides us not how to conduct ourselves and how not to conduct ourselves. And I think that that's an area that we can set a better example.
And of course, we can't speak about the assassination of Chris Hani without speaking about those who pulled the trigger. Janus Wanus, the Department of Justice and Correctional Development has indicated that, of course, that it will appeal that High Court ruling, that he be released on parole. And I guess this is something that the SACP welcomes.
Yeah, of course, we welcome the appeal by the department. I must indicate really this is a matter that icks us as the SACP, and obviously the family. I think you remember when we were at the court, the judge completely out of line confronted Medimpwani to say please move on, forgive and so forth. Actually speaking on behalf of the perpetrators and not on behalf of the victims. And I think that that's an area that actually irritates us a lot. But we believe that Janus Walus and Clive W. Lewis should have actually rot in jail precisely because the sentencing, the judge at the time that he sentenced them, he said they must be given the harshest sentence possible by the court, which he gave them a death sentence. But unfortunately, when we commuted this, we made it a life sentence, and we didn't put the condition that it should be without parole. Actually, it should have been attached that it's a life sentence without the option of a parole. I think their behavior is also disdainful to the family, disrespectful to our democracy, even to the freedoms that we gave them as they now enjoy it.
Well, perfect. That is the SACP's Solly Mapaila speaking there lastly on that decision by the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development to appeal that ruling by the High Court to grant Janus Walus parole. As we've noted, that that hearing will be heard in the North Gauteng High Court this week.